welcome to Gold Ball Sports, Episode 3. We appreciate you folks watching our first 2 episodes. You can find them on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, so share this program. If you know folks who might enjoy it, give it a share on Facebook. We'll take your comments and we'll comment back tonight. We also ask you to like our Facebook page and like our YouTube page. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. That's going to help us build the audience. We're not going to spend a lot of intro time this week because it is, frankly, the most exciting week of the year. It's Alabama, Tennessee, and they're both undefeated. And that's why we have sports talk shows.
Oh, you better.
This is why we do what we do.
Third Saturday in October. I mean, I can't wait. You know, folks in Tennessee, states of Tennessee and Alabama excited. First time since 1989 that both teams are coming to this game undefeated on the third Saturday of October.
Dave Myers is our producer. He's our graphic designer. He's our music creator. He's Ken Keller. I'm Scott Chastain. Let's get right to it. Ken Keller, we start out tonight to a place you were on Saturday, Alabama, Texas A&M at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
I was there, Scott. And I'm Haynes King. I'm the quarterback for the Texas A&M Aggies. I had a pretty good game, but now it's 3 seconds left and we're on the 2-yard line. Coach, what do you want me to do? I'm seeing rats and green dogs over on that defense for Alabama. We're down 24-20. We can win this game. I'm fixing to land me a big elephant named Big Al. Coach, what? Give me a play, Coach. What am I going to do? Give me a play, Coach.
Evan Stewart.
Evan Stewart.
Just Evan Stewart.
That's a good idea. I've went to him 18 times this game so far. Terrion Arnold's had a hard time covering him. We got a bogus phantom pass interference on the play before. Let's try it. Oh, I'm going to throw this thing out here. Throw it out to Evan. Oh, no. No, we blew it. Coach, you called a terrible play there.
Jimbo, what were you thinking?
I was seeing ghosts. Green dogs, rats, and ghosts. Texas A&M loses 24-20, Scott, on the last play of the game. I was there. What a football game. What a football game, man. Unbelievable. I cannot contain my enthusiasm.
Well, let's open up talking about your experience, because I know you spent the day there, watched LSU, Tennessee, and stuff. Just talk about your day of travel. For a lot of folks have never been to Bryant-Denny Stadium. You've been a lot.
Yeah.
So what's that like?
I mean, it's just great. The weather, first of all, is perfect. So you want to have good weather. You know, the low temperature, 59 degrees. Wear your little light jacket, carry it in your little bag, 12-inch bag that you can take with you inside the stadium, so you can just throw that on and keep the little wind chill off of you. But you know, since 2019, it was the most fervored Alabama crowd since 2019, the LSU game when Joe Burrow brought the LSU Tigers in with Ed Orgeron. They beat Alabama 46-41 and had that undefeated season to win the national championship. You know, my son and I, we get out there, get down there and go to Buffalo Fields, which we like to go there, have chicken fingers and chicken wings for the game. You know, TV set up in there, LSU and Tennessee going on. By the time we got a seat, it was already 10-0 Tennessee. 7:06 in the first quarter. I said, man, what in the world happened? But, you know, getting to the game, just an incredible environment. You know, the Alabama fans came in, you know, with venom. They came in with venom on their breath. They wanted to really expose Jimbo Fisher, the feud that we covered on episode 2, Jimbo Fisher and the NIL controversy and controversy with Nick Saban, the big feud. Alabama fans anticipated a romp. I did. 24-point favorites, and it goes down to the final play of the game. During the game before pregame, they did introduce Alabama's 2012 national championship football team that defeated Notre Dame 42-14. Saban goes out, shakes every one of their hands pregame. So that was really cool. And after the game, my son and I saw Cyrus Kwanjo, and this dude is a mammoth of a man. He's 6'7", 350 pounds. We got a chance to talk to him and got our picture with him. But this was the loudest crowd I've seen there since 2019 LSU game. What a great environment and a great football game. If you told me going to that game that it was going to be decided on the last play with Texas A&M with a chance to win it with 2 seconds left, I'd have said you're absolutely crazy. You got this game mixed up with the Tennessee LSU game, which that football game had the last 3 times Tennessee had been to Baton Rouge decided the last play of the game. So it kind of, sometimes we get surprised, man. That's why they play the game. Great environment.
So tell us about the food in Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Well, I had some peanuts and I had 2 Cokes. My son and I had a Coke and split some peanuts, and it was $21. So that's about the extent of the food that we had at Bryant-Denny Stadium. So
where do you go eat beforehand?
We go to Buffalo Fields. Yeah, so Buffalo Fields, a little pub, down on the strip. They have, the little sports bar, and so we watched the other football games, watched the Tennessee game, and then we took off down, did a little bit of shopping on the strip. Got this cool Bryce Young shirt I found, and he got him an Alabama hat, and he's gonna wear that down to Knoxville this weekend.
All right, so we don't just talk about sports. We go to the games. We participate. And Ken in Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday, that was awesome.
Hey, Ken, I actually have a video that you sent me of you at the stadium. I'm going to show that real quick.
Let's see a little Ken at the stadium.
Yeah, so yeah, they have an incredible light show there. They put those new red lights in a couple years back, the first one to do it in the country, and it was a big hit. So they cut they cut all the lights off except the red shining lights at the top of the stadium, and it was just a red wave going in. Everybody took their phones out and turned their flashlight on, and then started doing the wave around the stadium with the flashlights going on. You would lift it up when it came to your section, and it's incredible, man. Incredible atmosphere for a football game.
Alabama fans doing the wave.
Yeah.
That's so 1990.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. All right, we'll talk certainly more about the Alabama-Texas A&M game and probably spend about the second half of this program on the Tennessee-Alabama game because it's all about the third Saturday in October. But we got some things we want to do. A lot more things going on than just SEC football, even though that is our focus. First thing we want to do tonight is bring our award winners to the podium. All right, the podium is something we do every week. We give out a bronze, a silver, and a gold. These are to our top performers of the week. Any sport, anything, top performers of the week. Ken, I started out last week, so you get us started this week, your bronze medalist.
C.J. Stroud, Ohio State Buckeye quarterback, stepped to the podium here on Gold Ball Sports. You are my bronze award winner tonight. And all C.J. Stroud did was throw for 6 touchdowns for the third time this season in a Big Ten game as the Ohio State Buckeyes demolished the Michigan State Spartans. Stroud was 21 for 26 with 6 TDs. He's going to be a top draft pick, and he's my number 1 Heisman leader right now. With Bryce Young being out last game, a game and a half the last 2 weeks against Arkansas and Texas A&M. There'll be a lot to say about that in Knoxville this weekend with Herbert, Mr. Hendon Hooker, and maybe perhaps Bryce Young playing. Let's see if they can close the ground. But this young man is going to be the first or second pick in the NFL draft. Who's after him? The Panthers are after him. The Lions are after him. Those are 2 teams. And the Washington Commanders. They are 1-4 in the NFL, and one of those are going to win the C.J. Stroud sweepstakes. Congratulations, Mr. Stroud.
Yeah, I think C.J. Stroud did take the lead in the Heisman voting based on his performance on Saturday, even though he was going against a pretty poor Michigan State team.
Yeah, I agree.
The Sparty is not what the Sparty sometimes is. Well, my bronze medal goes to a little old high school football team defense, the Tullahoma Wildcats. That's what we do on Friday night. We broadcast Tullahoma Wildcat football. And Friday night, the Wildcats went on the road, 2.5 hours on the road, and shut out the Montgomery Central Indians 31-0. Liam Grider had a couple of interceptions. I think Tullahoma forced 4 turnovers. Defense was just immovable. Montgomery Central never really threatened to score that I saw. Tullahoma's outscored its previous 2 opponents 73-10. So after a 1-4 start by the Wildcats, they're now 3-4. and control their own destiny to get in the playoffs. All the Wildcats have to do is win out, and the worst they could finish is 4th in Region 5 4A. So Tullahoma defense, led by number 35, Ezra Myers, easy money. Come on up and get your bronze medal. Great job Friday night. Great shutout. Good luck this week against Lawrence County. That's my bronze medal winner.
A worthy winner.
Step
a worthy
back
recipient.
on to the high school field there. All right, Ken, your silver medal.
My silver award winner is Buffalo Bill quarterback Josh Allen. He's going to win the MVP this year. We've talked about him, and all he did was throw for 348 first half yards in a skull dragging of the Pittsburgh Steelers, 38-3. Josh Allen, after one half, some people were asking, is this guy going to break Norm Van Brocklin's 71-year record of 554 passing yards in a football game? No, Buffalo pulled the Bills. They lightened the reins a little bit. They probably could have done it, but Josh Allen, come on up to the podium here at Gold Ball Sports. You are my silver medal winner this week.
Doesn't it seem like almost every week that dude could get a medal?
He could.
Yeah. He's just really,
Yeah.
really outstanding. And listening to his teammates talk about him on the field after the game was just special. You know, they love that guy. I mean, they know how awesome he is.
Former Wyoming Cowboy.
Yeah, he was. A cowboy.
Yeah.
Huh. My silver medal goes to the Atlanta Braves. I know they got a medal last week, but it was a little premature because the Braves have done it now. After sweeping the Mets 3 straight games, the Braves closed it out, won the National League Eastern Division Championship, their 5th straight Eastern Division Championship since Major League Baseball went to divisions in 1969. The Atlanta Braves have won 22 division championships. That's more than any other team, more than the Yankees, more than the Cardinals, more than the Dodgers, and yes, believe it or not, more than your Cincinnati Reds. The Atlanta Braves, 22 division championships. They beat the Mets so bad that the Mets, with 101 wins on the year, got eliminated by the Padres late last night. So it's Atlanta and Philadelphia. It's the Dodgers and the Padres. The 2 winners will play in the National League Championship Series. Exciting playoff baseball in October, and your Atlanta Braves, and I know many of our viewers are Braves fans. Mm-hmm. Your Braves are in it Tuesday afternoon. I think about 1 o'clock they get started. First 2 games are day games in Atlanta, Tuesday and Wednesday. So, you know, one thing that really makes me even extra happy about this is because I know that Major League Baseball hates it. They hate Atlanta. Remember 2 years ago, they stole the All-Star game from Atlanta and took it to Colorado. And then what'd the Braves do? They won the World Series. Now here they are back in the playoffs. Major League Baseball hates it. We love it.
Yeah. And, you know, you mentioned the San Diego Padres. They've never won a World Series. Be interesting to see how that Padres-Dodgers series comes out.
They're never going to. At least not
They're
this
never
year.
going to.
Hey, before you hit the gold medals, Tiffany Hurl says, "Let's go Red Raiders."
Coffee County
Yeah.
deserves some love. Let me tell you what
yeah.
Tiffany says, let's go Red Raiders. She's talking about the Coffee County Red Raiders. They won again Friday night. They're 5-2. They play Cookeville this weekend. If Coffee County beats Cookeville, and they will, then the Red Raiders are going to win Region 3 6A. And I think they've got a chance to win their first ever playoff game. Coffee County's never won a playoff game. It's their 100th year of football. I think they got a chance to win a playoff game this year. Thank you, Tiffany. Go Red Raiders.
Hey, and they're building a team up. You know, her son Braxton's an 8th grader, going to be playing on that high school team next year.
And then Bill Brinkley says, "Shout out to the Bryce T-shirt."
All right.
All right, Bill likes the Bryce
Roll Tide.
T-shirt, so we appreciate that. All right, Ken, we've got gold medals here.
Well.
We're getting ready to hand them out to worthy recipients.
That's right. So let me check this. Is this cubic zirconia or is it real gold? Hold on.
That would be a fake diamond, Ken.
Okay. Well, I'm not real good
It's
on
not
jewelry.
a chocolate bar.
It's not.
That
It's not
much we
chocolate.
know.
Okay. Is it? It's real. All right. I'm ready for my gold ball. My gold medal award winner is Mr. Aaron Judge, New York Yankees. Look, when you break records, you're worthy to be a recipient of a gold medal on Gold Ball Sports. That's what we're all about. You see our logo up here. Aaron Judge broke a 61-year-old record by Roger Maris, eclipsing 61 and getting number 62. Memory Lane Sports, prior to the game, this home run was hit last Tuesday against the Texas Rangers, offered a $2 million bounty to the person that turned in the baseball that captured the home run ball. $2 million. And that ball has not been turned in yet, so we'll see what happens. But hey, look, when you break records, when you break 61-year-old records, you're going to get a gold medal on Gold Ball Sports, Scott. So Aaron Judge, congratulations.
And you know, that ball's it's just not worth $2 million. I don't care what record he breaks.
That just shows you how much sports relics are, man. Some of those collectibles.
Well, you're into that, and I'm not. Yeah. Let me put it this way:
I wish I had that ball.
I wouldn't pay $200.
Yeah.
I got a gold medal winner, and I was a little hesitant because I thought I might need to wait till next week. But then I realized that I might not have an opportunity to do it next week. So I think it's time to do it this week because I think it warrants. Josh Heupel, step up here and get your gold medal tonight because Josh Heupel, I mean, just think about what this guy has done at Tennessee. Ken, we've been doing a talk show for 6 years now. Remember a couple of years ago, we were talking about how it couldn't get any worse. It was the worst Tennessee football had ever been. They lost 7 straight games. They had never lost 7 games in a row before, ever. In all 7 of those games, the opposition scored 30 or more points. I mean, they were pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. Josh Heupel comes in there, loses 37 players to the transfer portal. He digs into that transfer portal himself, goes out on the recruiting trail, but more than anything, he changes the mindset of the guys in orange up there. And here we are now. He's beaten 3 top 25 opponents, 2 of them on the road this year. He's got the Volunteers at number 6 in the nation, getting ready to host Alabama. It's going to be an orange out. We'll talk more about that game later. But the job that Josh Heupel has done at Tennessee, there's none that compare. Now, Riley at USC, he's had a good start. They don't play anybody. So, you know, USC is USC. We'll see how they go come playoff time if they make it, right? But Tennessee right now, Josh Heupel at the top of the college world. Game day, SEC Nation, Marty McGee at the top of the college football world this weekend is the University of Tennessee, and it would not have happened had Tennessee not hired Josh Heupel from Central Florida. Nobody saw that hire coming. Danny White was his AD there. Fulmer and Pruitt were just a mess. Heupel and White get my gold trophy tonight. Welcome to the podium.
Yeah, he's done a great job. You know, this is Tennessee's first 5-0 start since 2016 when Butch Jones was there. And then Tennessee's on track to win at least 10 games this year. They've not done that in 15 years since 2007, the last time they won 10 games in a season. They're on track for 10 or more.
So that's our trip to the podium. Congratulations to our winners. You know, this is a talk show that we hope will have a long life. And to help it have a long life, we're going to need advertisers. Now, we're not out actively seeking that yet, but we would be glad to talk to you about advertising on this show. We'll do it any way you want to do it. We can create a commercial for you. We can give you a live read during the show. Heck, we'll let you come in the studio and do your own commercial if you want to. Give me a call, 931-247-5566. 247-5566 if you'd like to advertise on Gold Ball Sports. All right, Ken, we're an SEC show, so let's do a little SEC recap. And let's start with Alabama, Texas A&M, 24-20. Alabama. Bama had 4 turnovers. Gibbs ran 21 times for 154 yards. The question is, will Young be back this week? Because I thought, and I said it on last week's show, that it basically didn't matter who played quarterback for Alabama, that they were all great. Well, frankly, Milroe did not look great Saturday. He didn't play great. But Bama managed to get the win, and I know leaving Bryant-Denny Stadium, that's all you cared about was leaving with a win.
Yeah, that's what my son and I talked about, how great it was to escape with a win. But, Alabama's turnovers, you mentioned those 4 turnovers, and 3 of them were attributed to Jalen Milroe. He fumbled twice and threw an interception. Alabama also missed 2 field goals that Will Reichard never misses, 35 yards. So if you were going to get Alabama, Saturday night was the night to get them. I mean, everything broke A&M's way. You could see the pressure was mounting on Alabama with every turnover. Texas A&M, of their 20 points, 17 points off those Alabama turnovers. And so it was 17-14 at the half. Alabama could just never pull away. Jahmyr Gibbs had some nice runs. Defense played good, but Alabama's offense just shot itself in the foot. They had a 24-14 lead. They were in the red zone, had a penalty, ended up missing a field goal, and they would never score the rest of the game. Meanwhile, A&M took their opportunities. They flipped field position a couple times, and you got to give Haynes King credit. I mean, he was pressured 19 times by the Alabama cheetah package and just kept getting hit, and came back. And they made it a one-play game at the very end. They cut it to 24-20. A phantom pass interference called Alabama. The play before the ball was intercepted, come out of the end zone. Alabama, Jordan Battle came out with the ball. Alabama fans euphoric. The stands were shaking. Apparently the ball game over. And then a flag comes in for pass interference. Spotted the ball at the 2-yard line. And Jimbo Fisher, did he make a good call? Look, Alabama just defensed that ball real good. We're going to talk about that here on our next segment here shortly on They Did What segment. But just a great football game. And look, when I've coached for many, many years different sports, not at the collegiate level, I would rather get blown out of a game than to have my heart ripped out and lose by 1 or 2 runs in a baseball game. Nick Saban ripped out Jimbo Fisher's heart. That guy was nearly crying in the press conference. They had down to one play, could have, should have, and would have. They tried to get Big Al. They tried to take the big elephant down, but they could not do it. Alabama gets revenge on Texas A&M for last year's 3-point loss at Texas A&M.
What's Texas A&M continue to prove every week? That they're just an overrated, overhyped, over-talented, undercoached college football team. They just are. They got great fans. They got great facilities. They got great recruiting classes. How long's the patience going to hold at Texas A&M? They want to win a national championship, and they're nowhere close.
Yeah, and who knows? We'll see if they win out. They had a strong finish last year. They could. They've lost 3 games. They're 3-3, but they could still have a 9-3 season.
They didn't hire Jimbo Fisher from 9-3.
No, they didn't hire Jimbo Fisher 9-3, and he was disappointed. $100 million, and all that money pouring into the program. We'll just have to wait and see with him. But I think for right now, if he keeps recruiting like he's doing, he's safe. We'll see what happens.
All right, Georgia, Auburn, no surprise there.
Yeah,
42-10 Georgia. Georgia looked much like the machine that we expected to see all year. Auburn just. They're lost.
Yeah, that game just 21-3 at the half. I still think Georgia's vulnerable. As much as people want to talk about Alabama looking bad and beating these teams, Texas and Texas A&M by slim amounts. I think by the end of the season, those are going to be find out. People are going to see they're 2 pretty good teams, but Auburn is woeful and Georgia's just got too much. So Georgia still unbeaten.
Tennessee 40. LSU 13. The Vols dominated from the very first play when they recovered a fumble. Tennessee rushed for 263 yards and threw for 240. Tennessee's defense is coming on strong. Hendon Hooker, 17 of 27 for 239 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jabari Small, 22 carries, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brew McCoy, 7 catches for 140 yards. Jalen Hyatt, 4 for 63 and 2 touchdowns. Ken, against LSU, Tennessee could do no wrong. You know, from the opening kickoff, LSU fumbles it, Tennessee recovers, scores. Tennessee gets the ball back, field goal. LSU drives down the field. Tennessee stops them on 4th down at the 11-yard line. Vols go down and score 13 to nothing, kick another field goal. And it was just off and running. This is one of the few games as a Tennessee fan that I can honestly say I never had any doubt. There was no doubt we were going to win. We weren't going to choke that thing away. The Vols just kept putting on more steam, took advantage of special teams, took advantage of every opportunity. Man, coming out of that game, a lot of folks liking the Tennessee football team.
Yeah, and they're being hyped right now, and the thing about it is the game was never in doubt. I think this game was decided when CBS announced that Tennessee was going to play this game at 11 o'clock instead of 7 p.m. in Baton Rouge and Death Valley.
We talked a lot about that last week,
sure
and it
did.
proved to be true.
Yeah, when Jack Beck fumbles the opening kickoff, that's a bad omen for LSU. But look, got to give Tennessee credit; they capitalized. Guy made a great recovery on the sidelines. They jump up 10-0 first 8 minutes of the game, and they pulled on the steam. But what I like what they did, they showed they could let the air out of the ball a little bit. You get up and you play smart, not turn the ball over, run. 263 rush yards, as Scott said. They only allowed 55. The defense had 5 sacks and 9 TFLs, tackles for loss. So not much bad about the Tennessee Vols, but I'm telling you, LSU and some of the play calls that Brian Kelly had were very suspect. People want to malign Jimbo Fisher. You need to look down there at Baton Rouge. When you're down 10-0 and you have the ball with a 4th and 2 on about the 7 or 8 yard line, you kick the field goal there that early in the game in the first quarter. When you come out of that and you go for it and then you get stymied and it's 10-0 and Tennessee's got the ball going back the other way, it's over. I knew at that point, him not taking the field goal right there, they're in trouble. And Tennessee, as you said, they pulled it on and they boat raced the LSU Tigers 40-13 and win it going away. No doubt about that one.
Well, as teams are learning, as obviously Brian Kelly hadn't learned, well, I think he has, and this is why he went for it. As teams are learning, Tennessee's going to score a bunch of points. You're probably not going to beat them kicking field goals. So you might want to go for it when you have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to beat them kicking field goals. Now,
I see both sides of it. I would have kicked right there. Being home and cut it to 1-score game, I definitely would have kicked it.
Are we still streaming?
Give me just a second. That's you right there. I was wondering what that was.
Arkansas 17. Now, the Mississippi State Bulldogs are really coming on. Of course, Arkansas without K.J. Jefferson, they really had no chance. Will Rogers, 31 of 48 for 395 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Mississippi State unbeaten, if I'm not mistaken.
They got a loss.
Okay, they got one loss, but Will Rogers playing great football right now. So
Yeah, other than Tennessee, I think Mississippi State's the surprise of the SEC.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a surprise in the West, no doubt about it.
Yeah, maybe the biggest challenger to Alabama. And as soon as I say that, I think, well, no, it's actually Ole Miss. So the Egg Bowl is lining up to be quite a game.
It sure is.
This year. Florida beats Missouri 24-17. Anthony Richardson, 8 of 14 for 66 yards, a TD, and an interception. I don't know how Florida even wins that game other than the fact that it's Missouri. I think if they play any other SEC team other than Vanderbilt, they probably lose that game.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Ole Miss 52, Vandy 28. Jackson Dart 25 for 32 for 448 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jackson Dart is throwing darts,
Yeah, he is.
in Oxford.
Yeah, Ole Miss played around toy with him for a little bit. Vanderbilt had a lead in that game, but look, Lane Kiffin poured the steam on. Now they're unbeaten. Ole Miss is unbeaten.
Yes.
Yeah, Ole Miss is unbeaten. So them two Mississippi teams doing pretty good right now.
Ranked
One
in the
loss
top
between.
10.
Yes, sir.
And finally, South Carolina beats Kentucky.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Well, we talked about Kentucky last week.
Will Levis out. He didn't play.
That's right. Yeah. The great Heisman leader, Will Levis, out for the game, and the Kentucky Wildcats just completely fell apart. But I thought the most exciting part of the game was after the game in the locker room. Shane Beamer, Mark Stoops had talked about how unprofessional Shane Beamer looked with his hat on backwards and his sunglasses on an SEC sideline.
Oh, man.
Talked about how unprofessional he looked. So Shane Beamer sort of trolled him a little bit in the locker room. I think we've got that clip.
We do.
So, hey, make sure we're classy in our post game with the media, all right? But at SEC Media Days, he talked about stupid sunglasses and dancing. Come on, come on.
There he goes. He turns his
So, hey, make sure we're classy in our post game with the media.
Turns his
all right? But at SEC
hat
Media
around.
Days, he talked about
Put it where I
stupid
can see it all,
sunglasses
please.
and dancing. Come on,
Talks to his team a little bit, turns his hat around, puts on his sunglasses, and goes to dancing. Look at him. I mean, they're having a great time. We don't believe in Shane Beamer ball is going to be long-term successful at South Carolina, but man, they're sure enjoying that win over the top 15 Kentucky team.
Number one, Beamer ball's known from his dad Frank, that was at Virginia Tech, for great special teams. I believe they blocked a punt in that game, and so they will block a punt on you. South Carolina will. And secondly, I think it's time to talk about Mark Stoops of Kentucky being overrated. Okay,
Every year.
He flops every year, man. He wins 3 or 4 games, and they go into the top 25, make a move maybe in the top 20, and then bam, they just collapse.
They were sitting at number 8.
Yeah.
At number 8, and they lost to South Carolina.
Yeah. They're free falling, as Tom Petty song goes. They're in a free fall right now. They're free falling. No doubt about it.
All right, Texas, Oklahoma. We're going to talk a little more about this game, but it's going to be an SEC game. One school seems to be really amping up and really getting ready for SEC competition. They got Arch Manning coming in next year. The Texas Longhorns seem to understand that they're going to have to up their level of play in order to compete in the SEC. I think Oklahoma's probably regretting joining the SEC right now. I think those 3 Tennessee starters who transferred to Oklahoma last year, Eric Gray being the primary one, I think they're probably regretting their decision a little bit. I couldn't be happier. One of the schools that I just love seeing fail is Oklahoma Sooners, and right now they're failing.
Yeah, they only have 11 first downs in that game, and they get romped. And it does seem like two teams going in different directions. The energy, is building at Texas, as you said, in Austin, man, with the Manning boy coming in, so they got an incredible recruiting class coming in. And so maybe Brent Venables should have stayed at defensive coordinator. Maybe there's a reason he didn't take all those jobs he was offered, or perhaps the coach that left for USC left the cupboard bare. I don't think that's the case. I think there's talent on that Oklahoma team. They just laid an egg.
Yeah, the cupboard's not bare. This is Oklahoma.
Yeah.
The cupboard is never bare.
That's right.
Ever. All right, so that's our SEC recap. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want to add comments or everything, just comment on Facebook right now while we're live, and we will get right to you. In fact, if you comment on Facebook when we're not live, somebody's going to answer you. We're going to get back to you. But right now, we have a segment, and it is called They Did What?
They did what?
All right, our They Did What segment. It's still a new show, so we want to continue to sort of give you background on these segments. This is This is a situation, a game, a player, a team, a whatever, that just did something over the weekend that was just kind of boneheaded. Just boneheaded and are bad. They did what? I know you've got one. I've got one. Ken, get us started.
Okay, so well, Johnny Football is who I want to talk about.
All right.
And you know,
The most irrelevant person on the planet, Johnny Manziel.
You know, I thought Johnny Manziel would be at the football game. We were looking for him right down by the fence behind the A&M sideline, waiting for him to come back. We saw Larry show up at the game. Johnny Football was not there. He did not return to the scene of the crime from 10 years ago in 2012 when he won the Heisman Trophy and beat Alabama 26-21.
I remember that game well. You know where I was?
Johnny Football.
You know where I was? At Greg Driver's house.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Whew. Painful loss for Tide fans. So, you know, Johnny Manziel went nuts in that game, and that, you know, helped him win the Heisman Trophy that year. But, you know, look, the play of the day in football over the weekend was the last play of the Alabama-Texas A&M game. So what we're going to do is we're going to put two tweets up on the screen, and I'm going to read them to you, of Johnny Manziel because he didn't like that last football play. And after these two tweets, we're going to have a video clip from Nick Saban breaking down the play of how Alabama defensed it, which is really an unbelievable clip. So we're going to ask our audience, do you think it was a bad play call by Texas A&M or just great defense by Alabama? You be the judge of it. But this is what Johnny Manziel tweeted out right after the last play. He said, every single practice you have a goal line, period, and practice these type of situations. That's a joke of an ending for the Aggies. So he was not happy with the ending. He said it was a joke of an ending for the Aggies. You do practice it. Basically, it's 2-point conversion situation. First and goal, ball on the 2. You got one play. You win or lose, depending on if you're successful in that play. This was his second tweet. One of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life, tweeted Johnny Manziel. You have one play to beat the number one team in the country, and that's what you run? Let's watch Nick Saban's clip of breaking down the play.
They scored a touchdown earlier on the same formation, and we were actually trapping the flat and playing everybody inside out. So this number 3 receiver did that. All right, so, and that's actually what we wanted to play if it was a 2-point play, which this situation is the same as a 2-point play. Except because they had done that, we wanted to change the leverage on everybody. So we're playing outside technique. This guy's a rat. All right, Henry and 2 are reading the back. If the back goes out, 2 will cover him. If the back stays in, Henry will cover him and green dog him, and 2 will double number 1, who's where they threw the ball. And Terrion's really pushing the guys outside, which has helped squeezes them off because he knows he's getting help from 10 or 2. And then, you know, we were afraid of the quarterback, you know, possibly running the ball. All right, so we dabbed the front. All right, so we're going to take Will and take him off the edge. These guys are going to break the pocket, and 15 is going to pop out and mirror the quarterback. So we're trying to cover all the bases, obviously, on this play, and you can see how it came out. Terrion, you can see how he's playing outside technique on the guy, so when the guy worked back, he had a chance to make the play. You see how 2 is doubling out to him. You see how Henry's green dog in the back because the back didn't fast release. If the back fast release, 2's covering them. And everybody down here is playing outside technique with 9 being the rat on this side, to cut everybody on the inside route. So had pretty good coverage on the play, and the player made a really good play.
So rats and green dogs, and I'll tell you what, it'd take Johnny Manziel 30 minutes to describe that play to me. Nick did it in about 3. Ken, that piece of film right there tells you a lot about why this guy's at the top.
That's football gold, Scott. I'm glad we're able to get that clip. Good job, Dave, on getting that clip on our show, man. It just really shows people the intricacies. All 11 men on defense had a role. See, that was a play that similarly beat Alabama against Clemson in the national championship a few years back with Deshaun Watson making a pass to the end zone. But a great defense by Terrion Arnold. And so, Scott, I credit that last play to great defense versus a bad play call because Evan Stewart is a beast. That guy was throwing the ball 18 times in that game, hard to stop. He's a 5-star freshman, one of those guys they bought, man, and he's really good.
They did what? James Madison enters the AP Top 25 in their first season of FBS football.
Wow.
Their first season, they're ranked number 25. They won 42-20 this week with 598 yards total offense. They held the opposition to 20 yards rushing. James Madison. Who did they beat, Mr. Keller?
You got me.
They beat Butch Jones, Arkansas State team, 42-20. They're the Arkansas State, I think, Redwoods or something, but we've renamed them the Red Faces because Butch Jones always has such a red face. All to see him walking off the field after that loss to first-year program James Madison, it just warms my heart. Butch can't get it done.
Hey, that's a big win for James Madison. Now, you know, they've shocked, you know, caused some shockwaves in the past in NCAA basketball tourney action, but man, not in football.
Now they stepped up to FBS.
Yeah, how about that?
In football. All right, that's our They Did What segment. We're still going to give out participation trophies. We're still going to make our picks and have our debate. But right now, we got a special guest. He's in for his second appearance of the season, if you will. It's Mr. Bill.
We've got Mr. Bill. He's going to talk to us about what his thoughts are on the third Saturday of October, the big Tennessee-Alabama game.
Oh, hi kids, Mr. Bill here. Special thanks to Mr. Scott, Mr. Ken, and Mr. Dave for letting me be here with you today. Mr. Ken asked me to talk to you today about the third Saturday in October and which Alabama team shows up in Neyland Stadium Saturday. Mr. Bill say, an unbeaten one. It is the first time since 1989 that the two teams are both undefeated entering this game. Sluggo still says that Bryce Young will start the game, which is very good for Alabama. I heard after the Texas A&M game that Jalen Milroe was presented with the game ball, but then, oh no, he dropped it. I see a very hard-hitting game, and my sources tell me that Tennessee safety Jalen McCullough is already practicing being really mean to the opposition. Apparently, Tennessee defensive backs aren't fast enough to run away from the police. Reminds me of the time I went to prison. Oh no! Anyway, Mr. Bill say Alabama wins late in a very close game, causing Coach Heupel to choke on his gum, collapse, and land on my dog Spot. Oh no! Well, that's all for this week. Remember kids, chewing gum while talking into a headset is a safety hazard. Poor Spot.
Mr.
That's
Bill.
great. Oh, Mr.
That's
Bill.
good stuff.
Man.
Hey.
His thoughts on the third Saturday of October.
Hey,
Thank you, Mr. Bill.
let me just say this, all right? You're sitting in the apartment, 3:30 on a Sunday afternoon, you're chilling, and some drunk random guy comes in your apartment, you've never seen him before. You can either shoot him, stab him, or just punch him in the face. And Jalen McCullough punched him in the face. All right, he got arrested for assault. It happened. It was very good, Mr. Bill. You nailed it.
He did nail it.
I think he'll play.
Yeah.
I predict Jalen McCullough will play. So,
His nickname's Tank, but he's in the tank right now. Maybe
well, he's a
he gets
4-year starter
Yeah.
at defensive back.
They
And
need him.
frankly, I don't care how many 4-year starters we have on the field, Ken. You've heard me talk about this before. Tennessee was pathetic 2 years ago. They were pathetic 3 years ago. They were pathetic 4 years ago. I don't care if we don't have any 4-year starters on the field, including Jalen McCullough. But I do think that he will play.
A good football player. His final decision came down between Tennessee and Alabama, so he was offered by Nick Saban. Good football player.
His final
We need him.
decision came down to just escort this guy out of the apartment or punch him in the face. And he punched him in the face. What was he thinking? That's almost a they did what.
So Tiffany said Alabama fans will be heartbroken when the Tide gets slaughtered.
Tiffany says the Tide will get slaughtered.
Wow.
Well, Tiffany, all I'll say is if you're exceptionally confident there,
Yeah.
go ahead and bet it. You can get 7.5 right now. Just bet the house, bet the farm, and make the big kill.
Well,
right?
she's got a farm, and she's going to be at the football game, so I know she's going to be pulling hard for Tennessee to win. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great game.
All right. Our next segment, we hand out the all-inclusive, all-important, always sought participation trophy. All right, the participation trophy is our weekly trophy. Sometimes goes to 1, sometimes goes to 2. Tonight, we completely agree on our participation trophy. Mr. Keller, have at it.
Go Ball Sports, where participation trophies simply don't cut it. So who does the award go to this week? Brent Venables and the Oklahoma Boomer Sooners. Come on up here and get your participation trophy. You were awful. A Red River romp. Scorched 49-0. You allowed 33 first downs. So we at Go Ball Sports have created a brand new logo for the Oklahoma Sooners. Dave, put that new logo up on the screen, please.
Ouch. Ooh, ouch, he said.
How do you like
I
that logo?
That's sweet.
Yeah, so, yeah, definitely a worthy winner, a worthy recipient of our participation award, Brent Venables and the Oklahoma Sooners. Hey, Sooner Nation, when you come to the SEC,
It ain't even pretty
No,
while
there's
you're
no off
thinking about
weeks.
coming. I mean,
No.
all you had to do was say you were coming to the
Yeah.
SEC, and you started getting your ass kicked
yeah,
bad.
embarrassing. 49-0, that's his
To your biggest rival.
embarrassing.
That's
Yeah.
that's like Saturday's Tennessee-Alabama game
Yeah.
being 49-0
Yeah,
in
they just
somebody's favor.
rolled over, never put up a fight. That's ridiculous.
All right, so we both agree, Oklahoma. Enjoy it. It's your participation trophy, and we'll see you next week. Once again, as we get our format down and as we get our rhythm with Gold Ball Sports here, we're going to begin accepting advertisers. And we've already got some people interested, already talking to some folks. But we want to give you an opportunity to get in on the show at the ground floor. It's going to be pretty inexpensive at the ground floor. All you got to do is call or text me, 931-247-5566, 931-247-5566. If you would like to just talk about potentially being an advertiser on Gold Ball Sports. We're going to have some. The question is, are you going to get in on this on the ground floor? Or are you going to be trying to get in on it when we got 5,000 views a week? It's up to you. It's up to you because we're going to get there. We're committed. All right, let's debate. Let's just do a down and dirty debate right here. All right, Ken, tell our viewers and listeners what you got here on the table.
All right, I've got, of course, this little checkerboard helmet right here. Alontae Taylor, former cornerback for University of Tennessee, playing with the New Orleans Saints. I coached him for 3 years in Little League, and he signed me this helmet. It says Coach K on one side, Alontae Taylor. That helmet and that young man, very special to me as well as his family. And then on this side, this is an Alabama Crimson Tide Chrome mini helmet. I have Evan Neal on one side, got him to sign that as a freshman. And he was a number 7 pick of the New York Giants this year, the offensive tackle. And I've got Mr. Sanders, a running back for Alabama, on the other side, signed number 6. So those were 2 freshmen that came in 5 years ago to Alabama, and I got their autographs. So Trey Sanders out of Florida, he was the top number 1 running back in the nation, and the Nevin Neal was the number 1 offensive lineman of the nation. So they signed that for me, and that just, that's a good show prop tonight. Those colors are beautiful, and I can't wait till Saturday's game. There's going to be an orange out, as you said. You're wearing your orange. I'm wearing my crimson. Those colors, man, they just mesh so well together. I was watching some clips from the '89 game, the last time these two teams were undefeated, Tennessee was wearing their white jerseys with orange pants. I hope they come out in all orange. I just think that would make a good color scheme, all orange. And Alabama in all white and crimson helmets, man. It's just a beautiful picture on a sunny day, man. I can't wait for these two gladiators to go at it.
I'm all for what's been suggested, and that is that Alabama be allowed to just wear its
Yes.
crimson uniforms, and Tennessee wear its orange,
I
because that's
agree.
the way they used to do. But
Yep.
we got to debate something. What do we debate? What is the debate?
We are going to debate. You're going to say Tennessee is going to win because you're going to state the case for the Vols. Alabama's going to win because I'm stating Alabama's case. So
Why
let's
don't you
flip a
state
coin.
Alabama's first?
All right, I'll state Alabama's first. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why Alabama's going to win this football game. Okay, and we'll let our audience decide who's going to win it after we're done. So the key matchup in this game to me, before I give my 5 Alabama reasons why they're going to win, is Hendon Hooker, the Tennessee quarterback, coming in as the number one passing efficiency in the Southeastern Conference, number 7 in the entire nation. His passing efficiency 179.5. So what is Hendon Hooker facing? He's facing the number 1 pass defense in the SEC, giving up only 166 yards per game. So 2 good matchups right there. Hooker against Alabama's defense, and especially their secondary, going to be a great matchup that I'm going to be watching in that game. But goal line, red zone, Tennessee, 28 for 28 in red zone scoring this year. That is perfect. That is outstanding. They are 11 for 14 on third downs. That could pose some problems for Alabama. But here are the reasons why Alabama is going to win. Number 1, Bryce is back. Alabama, totally different team with Bryce Young at quarterback versus Jalen Milroe. Milroe was a turnover machine, turned the ball over 3 times. Look, Bryce Young won the Heisman last year. Alabama needs him to play in this game against an undefeated Tennessee. Alabama wins, first of all, because Bryce Young will be back. Secondly, the cheetah package. The cheetah package will put pressure on Hendon Hooker. What is the cheetah package? It's 3 outstanding defensive players on Alabama that they line up all over the field and they bring pressure on the quarterback. Chris Braswell, number 41. Will Anderson, number 31. That's 2 of them. And the last one is, hold on just a second, Dallas Turner, number 15. So those 3 guys right there, Braswell, Turner, and Will Anderson, they're monsters. They had 19 pressures in the cheetah package on Haynes King and Texas A&M. I think Alabama will bring the heat on Hendon Hooker from all different angles with those 3 guys. Reason number 3 Alabama's going to win, because of Jahmyr Lightning Gibbs in the backfield. This guy is a speed demon. 22.8 miles per hour clocked in the game against Arkansas 2 weeks ago. This guy can score from anywhere on the field. It doesn't matter if it's 99-yard run or down on the goal line. He's a deceptive runner that can fly. I think he's going to be a key weapon in this game. Reason 4, history. In 1989, Tennessee and Alabama were both undefeated. It was Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. I was there. Tennessee, Sterling Hinton at quarterback, Chuck Webb at running back, Carl Pickens at wide receiver, Marion Hobby on the defensive line. They came in number 6 in the nation. Alabama, led by Coach Bill Curry, it was his birthday that day. They came out with a backup quarterback named Gary Hollingsworth and a junior college running back named Saran Stacy, who played in Mississippi in junior college the year before. Saran Stacy set a total yardage running back record in this series, 283 yards and 4 touchdowns. History's on Alabama's side. They won in 89 in the undefeated matchup. They're going to win the game Saturday. And the last reason, Nick Saban. You saw his breakdown of the last play. He's the GOAT. He's won 7 national championships. It worked out perfect for him that Alabama was kicked down to number 3 in the AP poll. They did not play good Saturday night. I expect them to play a complete football game, and the Red Elephants are going to come into Neyland Stadium with fire in their eyes. They're going to win the football game, and if Bryce Young plays, it could get ugly.
Decent argument, decent facts, but they just don't hold up. They just don't hold up. I'll take them.
State your case to the jury.
You don't know whether Bryce Young's going to play or not. And if he does play, he's not going to play 100% healthy. Tennessee is known for one thing above all things, and that is they will knock a quarterback out of a game. Now, history says that the backup quarterback comes in and beats the Vols. It seems to happen every time we knock a starting quarterback out of the game. But it's not going to happen this week. Bryce Young, not 100%. It's going to show on the field. Alabama's going to struggle offensively. Second one, don't hide them from me.
Okay, here you
Don't
go.
hide them from
Here
me.
you
Give
go.
me points here.
All right, here we go.
All right, second one, cheetah package pressure. That's all. That sounds great. That sounds great. Tennessee just is so creative offensively that their Jaguar package is going to beat the cheetah package. Now, unlike Ken, I'm not going to explain to you Alabama fans what the Jaguar package is, but it's going to exceed the cheetah package. Mark it down.
Keeping it under wraps.
Do a little research on
Keeping
the
it under
Jaguar
wraps.
package.
Okay, I like it. Okay.
Jameer Gibbs.
Bring it.
Jameer Gibbs is outstanding. Okay, he's an outstanding running back. But Tennessee's found a running game. They got a pretty good running back themselves. In fact, they've got 2 or 3 really good running backs. Tennessee has discovered the running game. They'll run the ball for over 100 yards against Alabama. If they do, they win, period. History got nothing to do with any of this. Look, I remember 1983. History was Alabama had won, 12 in a row or something like that. Johnny Jones from Munford, Tennessee, runs for 204 yards, and the Vols put an end to that streak. 11, 12 years later, Tennessee puts an end to that streak again. History only lasts so long, and this history is over. It's time for the change. And finally, Nick Saban's 15-0 streak against who?
Your Vols. He don't lose to the
All
Vols.
good things got to come to an end. That's the same with the wildwood weed. And Nick Saban's winning streak against Tennessee. Look, if he's going to keep coaching for 10 years, he's going to have to accept the fact that things are changing around him. And this is his final grasp right here. I'm telling you, this is his final grasp, and it's going to end Saturday. It might just be a point. It might be overtime. It might be something goofy that Tennessee does at the end of the game. But we're going to put all those demons to rest. We're going to put all of the negative energy to rest because it's time. Tennessee beats Alabama 38-35.
Oh.
Rebuttal,
Man.
30 seconds.
You're getting me nervous. Rebuttal. The streak's not going to end. Alabama is the better football team. Tennessee's getting closer. Tennessee has not faced a defense like what they're fixing to face. They're not seeing a pass rush. They've not seen cornerbacks like Kool-Aid McKinstry and Terrion Arnold. And Kool-Aid just might return a punt for a touchdown in this game. Alabama's got good special teams. This game's going to come down to the turnovers, the matchup I said. Hooker, he's not thrown one interception and 140 passes. If he doesn't turn the ball over,
30
Tennessee's going
seconds
to
is
win.
up. Your 30 seconds is up.
I'm taking Alabama to win.
Tennessee's got, well, I know you are. That's
Yes,
why
sir.
we're debating it.
That's right.
Tennessee's got a new punt returner, D. Williams, returned a punt 58 yards against LSU. We will neutralize that special teams advantage that Kool-Aid thinks he holds. All right, that's our debate. We'll see who
You're
wins.
out of order,
We'll
sir.
see.
You are out of order, sir.
You're out of order.
Good job,
Why
man.
don't you show them that funny picture that we have?
We got a funny picture.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do.
How about that? Knocking
The
on the door.
Slim
Oh,
Reaper.
I don't like that. Now, that scares me a little bit. That makes me a little nervous. So who's the victims they got over? Pittsburgh Panthers, ranked team.
Florida Gators.
Pittsburgh, what are they now? How many games they've lost since then? And then you got the Florida Gators. Come on, man. Alabama's better than both them teams. That Slim Reaper's going to get that hook turned around on him.
You
What's
hear
gonna
that?
happen?
You hear that sound?
Uh-oh. The Slim Reaper's knocking at the door.
Knocking at the visitors' locker room door in Neyland Stadium.
I like it.
You
I
know,
like
there's
it.
dead
Look.
bodies under Neyland Stadium. You know that, right?
I'm glad this is a rivalry again, and it's going to be sparked up. This is going to be
It's
the best
beautiful.
game in years. I can't wait.
beautiful.
Look, props to Tennessee. You're undefeated. Alabama's undefeated. Let them play it out. We'll see what happens. I can't wait.
All right, 5-minute bonus segment, episode 3, Gold Ball Sports. Let's pick some games. We've already picked Tennessee, Alabama. I'm taking Tennessee. You're taking Alabama. LSU at Florida.
I'll take the Florida Gators at home.
Yeah.
I'll take the Gators at
LSU
home.
staggered.
Yeah.
Stumbling.
And Brian, and I'm anxious to see first year coaches, both of them. I want to see who coaches the best in this game between these two new coaches. That's going to tell a lot about the victory. But I like the quarterback position. I'm going to go with AR-15, although he just completed 8 passes to beat the Bayou Bengals at
Florida
home.
just finds a way. They're
They
just an
do.
ugly football team
We
right
know,
now
yeah.
who beats teams that are on their level.
Yeah.
And LSU's on their level. Arkansas at BYU. By the way, I'm taking Florida as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough ball game. Man, BYU's going to be in Provo, Utah. They're physical. Man, this is a dangerous game. I'm going to say that Arkansas is going to pull it out by 3 points, but it's going to be a very good game. Could go to overtime.
The preseason darling of the SEC loses another one in Provo. I'll take BYU.
Tough place to play,
Mississippi State at Kentucky.
Mississippi State's the hot team. I've got to go with them. 2 teams going in different directions. Give me Mississippi State.
This is one of those games where Kentucky's fading. They look like they're lost.
Yeah.
Watch Kentucky in this one. I like Mississippi State. They're my West team.
Yeah.
But watch the Wildcats
Okay.
in this
I
one.
like that.
They could slip up. Auburn at Ole Miss.
No contest.
No contest.
No contest. I'm going to take Ole Miss. I'm going to take Mr. Dart. Throwing darts.
Party
once
in the
again.
Grove.
That's right.
All night long.
Fighting
Vandy at
Kiffins.
Georgia. Can Vandy keep it within 40?
No.
No.
No, I like Georgia to flex 6 muscles. Although they do play in a couple weeks the world's largest cocktail party, so they've got a big game against Florida coming up. But they need to get back on track. Georgia.
I don't think Georgia's going to be looking ahead to Florida.
No.
Southern Cal at Utah. Big Pac-12, Pac-10, Pac whatever it is.
I'm going to
game.
say that I'm going to be rooting for Utah to win that game. They do have that one loss against
It
Florida.
helps us
Yeah.
in the national rankings.
That's
if
right.
Utah wins.
Yeah, we need you. The SEC needs, if they want to get 2 teams in, they need USC to lose this game. I'm going to take Utah in the upset at home.
Utah coming off a loss, I
Yeah.
think. But the Utes are really tough to beat
They
at
are.
home. I think
They are.
USC's overrated.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the Trojans.
Okay.
Penn State at Michigan, Big Ten game, Big Ten game.
Penn State impressive
Big
this
noon
year
kickoff.
at Auburn earlier in the season, beating an SEC school. J.J. McCarthy had a really good game for Michigan against Indiana this past weekend. I like the Wolverines to stay unbeaten.
Yeah, they're rolling.
Yep.
Harbaugh's got them rolling. Oklahoma State at TCU, another big game. TCU coming off a rout. I tell you, they're rolling. There's some teams that have these high-powered offenses now, these real up-tempo, and TCU is one of them.
Yeah.
If you think watching TCU is the old days of the Horned Frogs plodding 3 yards in the old Big 12 or whatever, they're throwing it up and down the field and running fast. USC, real up-tempo offense. Kansas State, up-tempo offense. Tennessee, it's really becoming popular. I like TCU to beat Oklahoma State.
I project 800-plus passing yards in this football
No
game. You got Mike Gundy against Sonny Dykes. It's going to be an air show. And I'm going to take the Horned Frogs to knock off the 2 unbeaten teams to knock off Oklahoma State.
Okay, finally, a couple of quick pro games, and we're done.
Well, Jared says, lest you forget, UCLA hammered Utah last week.
They did
That's all right.
hammered them in
Good point, Jared.
SoCal, I believe.
SoCal.
Monday Night Football tonight, the Raiders at the Chiefs. Great old AFL
yeah.
matchup.
Yeah.
Where's Kenny Stabler, Daryl LaMonica,
Daryl LaMonica, Lynn Dawson,
Branch,
yes.
Cliff Branch,
Ed Podolak.
Ed Podolak,
Yes.
Lynn Dawson, Otis
Yes.
Taylor, Buck
Yes.
Buchanan, the Kansas
George
City
Blanda.
Chiefs, and the Oakland Raiders. But this is the Las Vegas Raiders at the
Yeah.
Chiefs. Chiefs are just too good.
Yeah. This is Derek Carr against Patrick Mahomes. Ball
No
game over.
contest.
Patrick Mahomes, no Moss. And, no Moss.
Your Cowboys at the Eagles. Cowboys won 4 in a row. Cooper
Yeah.
Rush getting it done. Unbelievable magic year he's having. The Eagles undefeated. This is for the NFL East, NFC East.
Yeah,
league.
yeah. Go to old NFC East matchup. Bitter rivals. I love the way Jalen Hurts is playing right now, and I like his receivers, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I'm going to go with the Eagles to beat my Cowboys, although the Cowboys have looked really good lately.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles as well. We agreed just about on every pick. Again,
Except that one.
this will be up on our YouTube page tomorrow. you can go there and subscribe to it. That would be great, helping us. If you'll go to Facebook right now and just like the show and share it. Share the show, share the show, share the show.
And
That's going
like
to do
and
it.
subscribe on YouTube as well.
Absolutely. I think I just said
All right. You got it covered, dog.
For Dave Myers and Ken Keller, I'm Scott Shastine. Be good to each other.